Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett and thank you for spending some time with me today because in this video, we're talking about some elements you do not want to miss if you are looking for great interior design in your home. And the first thing we have to talk about, an element that so many homes are missing when I see them, is actually the use of soft furnishings to tie in your color scheme. And basically what that means is get your throw pillows together, get a rug that matches, where's the throw blanket? All of these things you think are just extras. You think they're just accessories, they're just there to make the space comfortable and warm and cozy. They're there to tie in your color scheme. They exist in this space to make sure your color scheme makes sense, to get a reference point to it, to add more of that into your space. Yes, you can use soft furnishings like throw pillows to define your style. If it's more traditional, if it's more modern, the pattern on that pillow is going to make that reference, is going to make that statement and adds personality, but it is also in that space to tie in the color scheme, so do not forget about these things. Yes, they are comfy. Yes, they make your home cozy, but they have more meaning than just that one thing. Now, they need to serve both purposes, and there is no excuse for them not doing that, but remember, what your pillow says a lot about you and your space. So let's make sure our soft furnishings, like I said, pillows, throw blankets, the area rug in the space, an ottoman or a poof, makes sense and makes a reference, ties in a color scheme together in some way. These are elements that should not be forgotten in a space because they make the difference. And an argument can be made that artwork also ties in your color scheme together, and so do other accessories. Yes, that's true. But oftentimes people think cozy means it doesn't count, and that's just not true. A key element you should not miss out on in your home that is holding your design back is layered lighting. Lighting changes the entire space and the way it looks and feels and the way you interact in it, and not having layered lighting is not helping you out. Layered lighting is essentially multiple forms of lighting in your space. Yes, you have overhead lighting, you may have recessed lighting, you may have a lamp. Do you have a floor lamp? Do you have a task lamp? Do you have a spotlight? Do you have art light? These are all different forms of lighting that create a layered look and feel in the space and really enhance and accentuate it. They make it feel comfortable and welcoming and warm, and you should be using warm tone lighting. There's no excuse at this point for you to have cool blue toned lights because they belong in a hospital, not a home. And I love that for you. The only exception is if someone has a vision issue or a medical need to have cool toned lighting, at which point that's acceptable, but otherwise, don't be caught slipping. Now, layered lighting is something that you can use. It actually can become a ritual of turning things on. I have them set on timers in my home because I can't be committed to it, and you can shop those timers in my Amazon storefront linked in the description box down below. But having layered lighting in your home enhances the space and the atmosphere of it, and it creates a moodier feel. Now, what it will do is tint the colors in your space. A warm tone light has yellow base to it, and so everything is going to feel warmer or have a slightly yellow hue to it. You may feel the need to accommodate your space and shift some of the colors in it to make this work. I don't personally think you need to. I enjoy a warmer space, and exceptions can be made for layered lighting, which is a lot better than your space just maybe looking a little bit yellow. Like, whatever, that's fine. It feels warm. That is what warmth is. So add layered lighting into your home. Even if you have those cool toned overhead lights, add some warmer toned lights in the lamps and art light to really enhance the mood and the atmosphere of this space and create that warm glow and feel. It's also important that we don't have exposed light bulbs because they're a little too harsh. They give off too much light, and it always gives a migraine looking at a bulb, so don't be that person. Get some shades and get some shade filters to put over those exposed light bulbs to elevate the look and feel and create that soft glow your space will thank you for. Speaking of something your space will thank you for is getting your design questions answered, or even just getting a space review from a designer like me. You could always book a one-on-one virtual consultation with me by using the link in the description box down below, or by going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic, where you can show me your space in a private one-on-one phone call or virtual call, and I can look around, you can ask me your questions, and I can give you my answers. People often forget about the element of negative space in their homes. Negative space is all about letting it breathe, not covering every inch of everything. Even if you're a maximalist, you need to have negative space and you need to use it efficiently. Negative space can mean more than just having nothing though, or having an empty space. It can also mean having a large grounding element in a neutral color that provides a base where our eye can go to and rest and not be overwhelmed by all of the details in the space. And this is something people often miss out on in their home because they think there's an empty space there. What am I going to get to go in that area there? And then they get more and more and more, or they think the answer to their design problems is getting another vase or another little collectible or a small thing or a piece here or there, and that's not always the case. If you're a person that loves a busy space with lots of patterns and colors and details, I'm all about it and I love that for you. What's our grounding element? Make it the trim color, make it the floor color, make it the rug, make it the use of color throughout the space and a repetition of a color that's consistent throughout in every area. That can be a really good way to create that negative space and allow our eye to rest and see what is going on, because if your space is overwhelming, it will feel cluttered, it will feel busy, and it will feel like way too much. And you don't want to be that person. So pull back a little bit or think outside of it and say, what am I going to bring into this space that is something big, that is heavy feeling, that has weight to it visually? And it doesn't mean it's going to be dark. Maybe it's a big white sofa in the space. Although for usage sake, that's maybe not my #1 recommendation, but as an example, it works. That is going to provide a reference point to the background color and all of the patterns you have in the space and give you a grounding feel to that space. Look for what that negative moment is going to be. What is going to allow the eye to rest? Maybe you're using symmetry. Maybe you do have some empty space in that area so that all of the bold colors and everything else you have going on isn't overwhelming. Maybe it's the use of a neutral. All of these things can give you the negative space you need in an area in your home so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, so we can actually see all of the beautiful things you have going on. An often overlooked element in a home that you should not forget about is actually storage pieces of furniture. You need storage. You need closed storage where everything is hidden away. Very few homes have enough storage and closet spaces and cabinetry to accommodate all of your things, especially if you're living in a smaller space. So look for pieces of furniture that offer storage in every form. I don't care what piece it is. If it's a sofa, there's no excuse. There are sofas that offer storage. If you have a coffee table or an ottoman, get one with some storage in it. You need more storage than you think. I would rather have a piece of storage furniture that is empty than not have the space available to me if I need it. And that is something your home will thank you for, because the #1 thing you need to get rid of in your home, the element you don't need, is clutter. So by increasing the storage, we reduce the clutter and your home is easier to be in, more relaxing, and feels more inviting, is easier to take care of when you don't have to clean around a bunch of clutter that makes your house look a mess. You can take care of it much easier and more efficiently, and your home feels more relaxing, and that is what your space should be. It's a sanctuary, so you may as well make it look like one by adding additional storage into the space. Something else you should add to your home is some great design advice which you find here on the channel, and I'd like to invite you to hit the subscribe button or pull out your phone, open up your camera, and scan this QR code right here that will take you directly to my channel page and allow you to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video. You should consider turning on your bell notification. I'd also greatly appreciate if everyone watching right now could give this video a like and give it a little bit of hype. That engagement helps it get shared across the platform and we can fix one ugly home at a time. And I love that for us. Look who's come to visit, who came to say hello. Hi. Hi, Arden. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the people? To the fans and the family and the friends? No, he doesn't have anything to say. Oh, that's cute. You're just gonna sit there and be like the mascot, the little look. You have static all in your hair, Arden. Got static all over the place. Got static all over you. Look at this, so cute, so sweet. Doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't understand the concept of the camera is there, but because he's so beautiful, takes after me, he's always camera ready, and I love that for him. Oh. Is it time for you to go back to your nap? Is that what you want? Is that what you're after? You're so cute. Okay, I'll let you go back to your nap, and we'll get back to the video. A key element you do not want to forget about in your house is mixing materials. And that doesn't just mean mixing metals or mixing fabrics. It means all of it all together. Don't be afraid to change things up in your home, and don't use the same material in every single space and every opportunity you can. For example, I love velvet. I think it's great. It's a beautiful material, a cotton velvet. Nothing makes me happier than that. But I do have to restrain myself from using it everywhere because it gets repetitive to use it over and over again. You have to mix things up a little bit. So in some spaces I'll have leather, I have a little bit of boucle from when that was a trend. I like it, okay? In small doses it can be great. In other areas I may use a mohair or a linen to really break up that fabric. I may also do the same thing with metal and hardware in my home. I love brass, but I also love antique silver. I love black hardware. As a designer, I see the value in all of it, right? So I want to have a little bit here and there, and I may use that in accessories and accents and details, but I do like to have a little bit of consistency. So light fixtures, door hardware is all going to be brass in my home, but then lamps and little accents of metal in other places will be something different, and I think that is really great. You do not want to be too repetitive in the material you use, even if it's a paint color. Don't paint every single room the same thing. Have fun in some of those offset areas. In one bedroom, maybe you paint an interesting color. In an office space, you do the same. Maybe your dining room is a little bit different and you have some fun with it. Don't do that every single place. You don't have to get one window treatment and do that everywhere in your home. In the same room, yeah, be consistent, do it all the same, but as you move from room to room, each enclosed space can be its own thing. It should have a reference point, but that doesn't mean everything has to be matching perfectly or the same thing done over and over again. So many people focus on just having perfect, gorgeous, elevated design in their home that they forget to bring personality into it, and that's a key element you do not want to forget in your home. And personality means anything you like, you can bring into your home. Don't think that because some designer somewhere said you can't have family photos, they're not great. Okay, well, if your family's not great, that's a personal problem you need to take up with your therapist. But I personally like to have photos that remind me of joyous moments in my life. That's a really great way to make your home feel personal. Artwork can be another one. Artwork doesn't have to be tied into your color scheme perfectly. It can be an accent. It can be something that stands out. Maybe if you want a generic piece to tie in a color scheme, okay, but don't be afraid to bring in something inventive and unique and just really personal into your space that doesn't go with anything, that doesn't make a reference to anything. That's when your home stands out and that's when it feels like you. I also am a collector of things. I love beautiful things and I collect specific things. I will display them around my home as artwork, as items I can use, as vases, as whatever I want because I like those things. They make me happy. I don't care if no one else likes them because they don't live here. Right? It's just the people that live in this house that opinions matter about what the house looks like. You need to have your home be the same thing. Make it personal, make it interesting, make it something that reflects who you are and your character. Don't be so focused on your home looking like perfect magazine level design. That's all staged. It's not even that real. Stagers come in and remove the personality from the space so it can be photographed for a magazine, and then everything comes back in and it feels like a home again. Don't be so caught up in having perfect design that you forget about the people that actually live there. And do not allow a design commentator to push their design narrative on you in your home and tell you what you're doing is right or wrong. Do what makes you feel happy in your space. Just make sure you do it in a way that feels intentional and truly reflects your personality. Now that we talked about some elements your home should not miss out on, let's talk about some finishes maybe I don't recommend using in your home. Be sure you check out that video right over here and I will see you over there.